if I don't fuck this up.
Okay, you'll be the guinea pig. So the goal is to screen share your PowerPoint. We said leave microphones on unless something really gross is happening in the background so we can hear each other laugh. Attempt.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Can you?
Yeah, if you hit full screen, that looks great.
Nice.
Okay.
Yay.
PowerPoint start. The Amarna Period by Sarah Purdy, who is me. So, in the Old Kingdom style of ancient Egypt, the aesthetics were never really different from when they kind of started getting everything together. So ruling pharaohs would always represent themselves in certain ways to convey their connection to the divine and present themselves as great rulers. Common symbols would reference life, power, and the fertility of a ruler. For example, the statue to the left is Khafre, and he had a falcon sitting behind his head, showing his divine connection to the god Horus. In the other sculpture, Pharaoh Menkaure is shown side by side with Hathor, goddess often associated with fertility. His wife on his other side is shorter than him, which was a common convention in the artistic canon, even if someone was actually taller than the pharaoh. Pharaohs were always depicted as useful, strong, muscular, and masculine, wanting to be shown as the ideal male form. Then comes Amenhotep IV, who later changed his name to Akhenaten. He ruled during the New Kingdom from 1353 to 1336 BC, and is known for his radical reconstructing of Egyptian religion during his rule. He changed his name to honor the sun disk, Aten, who then he changed to become the singular divine being of Egypt, which pissed off a lot of people, including the priests of the various gods and goddesses. He also moved the capital to Amarna, hence the name, the Amarna period. One of the big artistic changes was how the pharaoh was depicted. Compared to the Old Kingdom style, Akhenaten was depicted much more feminine than traditional canon would have allowed. He had a rounded belly, thin waist, and curved hips. His arms and neck were skinny and elongated. His facial features were also more feminine than what is seen in the traditional styles. It is important to note that the king was in charge of how he was depicted, so this was a deliberate style change. In this portrait of the royal family, both Akhenaten and his wife, the famed Nefertiti, are seen as equal and in a relaxed state as they sit with their children. Not a commonly seen family portrait in the Old Kingdom style. And the sun disk. The sun disk was a genderless entity represented by the sun with light streaming down. One of the reasons people attribute to this change in style was because Akhenaten, as a representation of the divine, wanted to show himself as Aten. Therefore, he was shown with a mix of feminine and masculine traits. Now, rays from the sun have been depicted in Egyptian artwork since the Old Kingdom, and even the shape of the pyramids symbolize the rays of the sun. But this is the first time that small hands have been used to convey sunlight in its connection to the divine, or as I like to call them, divine little grabby hands. So, the Amarna period is extraordinary, as it radically changed the traditional style of Egyptian art, but only for a few years. Pharaoh Tutankhamun, his son and predecessor, rejected the religious change and returned Egypt to its old pantheon. Some characteristics of the art style lingered for a bit, but was ultimately forgotten as the pharaohs returned to the traditional canon because nobody liked having just one god that was a sun disk. The end.
Yay.
You have sources. I wrote a paper on this. I just didn't want to include them.
I didn't do sources.
Fantastic.
Okay. Do we need a question period? 2-minute question period?
Yeah, God.
Any questions about anything?
Any questions?
Which one was better?
Which one?
Which form of art was better in your professional opinion?
I mean, I'm a fan of the old style because that's just, your traditional. You got your pharaohs with your gods. You got,
Those babies look really creepy.
Yeah, they look like little aliens, don't they?
God, what a nightmare.
Old ancient people just can't do babies.
No, it's terrifying.
So tiny little old people.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. Well, I had yours at 3:01 timing wise.
Yeah.
Somebody practiced.
Set the bar really high.
Wow.
That's cool.
Anyone want to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
we'll go. Well, I'm going to set a timer. I haven't timed myself yet, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, screen share. Boop, boop, boop.
I'm glad we live in a period where like this whole video conference thing has streamlined significantly.
Yes.
Because this would be miserable otherwise. This is actually surprisingly easy.
Chitons.
Okay, welcome to my presentation. 8 reasons why chitons are the coolest thing you've never heard of. A rant/presentation by Marie. So yeah. What is a chiton? Is is it a flowy garment worn by the Greeks? Yes, but also no. It's an intertidal mollusk. Hooray! So fact number 1, they are prehistoric. They are 400 million years old. So their form has really sustained throughout, and all right. Fact number 2. Oops, forgot about prehistoric. All right. They're armored little sea roly-polies. They have 9 plates that are usually on the outside, but sometimes they're on the inside, and they come in lots of pretty colors. So if you're a person who likes fuzzy cute things, there's a chiton for everyone. There's mossy chitons. If you're more into psychedelics, there's lined chitons. More of a leather motorcycle type, there's leather chitons. Tired of small chitons, there's giant chitons.
Oh my god.
All right, fact number 4. If they couldn't get any cooler, they're about to, because they have rocks. They have eyes made out of rocks. So these little black dots they can have hundreds of these dots along their shells. They're the only animal that has tissue, live tissue in its shell. And its eyeballs are made out of calcium carbonate, which is what its shells are made out of. And they can actually use their functional eyes to create an image. So when something passes over it, you can hunker down to the rock if it's a predator. But because they're intertidal creatures, they have to work in the air and in the water. So by having calcium carbonate eyes, they're able to do both of those things. All right, fact number 5. They eat with a chainsaw tongue. It's like Coloradula. It doesn't go around like, but it goes very slowly, and they slowly scrape algae off of rocks, and eventually when it wears down, it just gradually moves to the next row of teeth. And algae is not the only thing they scrape off rocks. They actually also scrape off iron, which composites itself into its teeth. So it has teeth made of magnetite, which, if you heard of magnetite, is also magnetic and super hard. So they are the only creature on Earth that makes the hardest material in the biological world is their teeth, which is pretty epic. No other animal or creature does this. And because they're magnetite, they use them to navigate. So not all chitons, well, they haven't tested all of the chitons, but it seems like some species tend to use changing magnetic fields, and like laboratories change how they move. So they assume that they are probably using their teeth to navigate around with. So next time you see something weird and odd in an intertidal zone, you might feel disgusted or really just kind of shocked. But if you take some time to learn about them and be curious, these little puppies, you might actually really learn to like them. And I just made a video. Hold on. Wait, my video didn't work. Hold on. No. Oh, I made a stop motion video. Hold on.
Aww.
Why doesn't it work? Wait, hold on. Let me try here. Dang. Hold on, I'm gonna go back in.
Okay.
Okay, we'll stop the timer just because
Technical difficulties.
technical difficulties.
How does the internet work, you guys? Okay. This guy. Maybe if I press this, something might happen. Oh. Why? Okay, well. All right.
You did it.
What?
I'm still impressed you did one.
Yeah, it's still impressive.
Yeah,
The two frames we can see.
Oh, wait, something's happening.
Oh,
I had to double click. Who knew? Or maybe nothing's happening. God damn it. Okay, wait. I'm going to pull it up on my Google Drive. Just a second. Sorry. Does everyone have the time?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You're all
Great.
good, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Just a plug. When we're allowed to like be social again, Matt and I have all of those chitons that we can come play with.
Yes.
We can have a chitin party.
All right, well, my internet is now freezing, so that's cool.
Oh no.
Oh, we broke everything. Chitons will break everything. Is what we've learned.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are the chitons that can like use magnetic for like their direction, are they closer to the poles or is there any correlation?
I think they use it how they orient themselves, just like in their environment. They don't necessarily like move towards the poles, but you know, like birds use it to navigate to know like where they are. I think it's just so they know where they are in space.
Cool.
So the end.
Oh, yay! We knew someone was going to have technical difficulties. Lucky straw.
Just, you know, I broke the ice for everyone. So
Exactly. Yeah. My timer said 4:15.
I had a lot to say. There's a lot to say about chitons.
Titans, they need
Sometimes you
all
just
the
gotta get it
time. All the time. Anyone else want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, M.
Woohoo.
All right. I am afraid and I'm ready. Let me pull up a timer. Okay, reset. Share my screen. Uh-oh. That one. Share it. Okay, can y'all see my screen?
It is loading. Give it just a sec. Yup.
Yes.
got it.
Yes.
Here we
Okay.
go. Oh.
Oh god. Okay. All right. So, bug is to insect as square is to rectangle, or more accurately, bug is to insect as square is to quadrilateral. But that's false too in the endless world of complexities. But that's not a catchy title. So, oh well. We are talking about hemipterans. Hemipterans are the things that are called true bugs in the world of insects. So every time you're talking about bugs, you're actually talking about something very specific. So it's like if you use the word square when you're talking about all quadrilaterals, including rectangles and trapezoids and other parallelograms, other quadrilaterals as well. So quadrilateral, rectangle, square, insect, Paraneoptera, hemiptera, aka true bugs. So there's the analogy that I have skillfully executed. Hemiptera, that's our topic here. Hemiptera are very familiar friends, I think, for many of us. There are aphids, there are bed bugs, there are shield bugs, and our stink bugs, and our lake skimmers, our plant bugs, and tons of other things. I think the most common one is that one, the leftmost one, with the sort of spade-shaped back, or the most like instantly recognizable one that's kind of out and about many times. Hemiptera are identifiable for a number of features. First and foremost is their mouth part, which are both piercing and sucking. This is, again, back to our beautiful friend here. Their mouth part are composed of two main things. So the first is the stylet, and the line here traces the stylet. It's that darker brown sort of line that you can see going down the middle of the mouth part. And then, and I'm sorry for making a penis, but then on the and the mandibles They don't chew as they normally would on an insect, but rather they support the stylet and they form this sort of beak that then the bug is able to use to pierce and suck. They're food sources. Many of them use this to get to like sap. Others use them to get to blood, and others are carnivorous with their beaks. Another part that's notable about hemipterans is their wings. They have 2 sets of wings, so think of like a cicada, which is a hemipteran. Their wings, and sorry, there's no more fancy graphics. I ran out of time as I was putting this together. Their wings can either be totally membranous, or one set might be membranous and one set might be a little bit harder. And then that's a further classification down the line of hemipteran, but I won't go into that. And then there's other differences too. Quiz. This is a cockroach. It has 2 sets of wings. Neither set is fully hardened. The head kind of turns down, and they have chewing mandible mouth parts. Is this a bug?
No.
No! And I have no positive reinforcement for you. That is the end of my slideshow.
Amazing.
My time total was 3:04.
Dang.
Yeah,
Good.
very, very close.
Nice.
Questions?
301 though, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, 3:01. I mean,
I am winning this.
technically though, it is 3 minutes without going over, so that's still up for grabs technically.
Oh.
Uh-uh.
So close. You have a favorite bug?
Me?
Yeah.
The brown marmorated stink bugs. I love them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aren't those invasive here?
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying, I'm pretty sure I can put those.
But they're beautiful. I love them.
Excellent. Excellent. Any other volunteers to go?
I can go. Are y'all ready for something stupid?
Yes.
Okay,
So
great.
ready? Never
I'm
been more
really
ready.
scared. Okay, because I want to make sure I can see my notes and also my PowerPoint. So give me a hot sec. Oh, sweet. I think I can do that. Yes, great.
Ooh, cute.
Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Things that are gay culture that maybe you didn't know are gay culture. So by me, Johanna, I'm going to be telling you about these things. So just a disclaimer that I'm using gay as an umbrella term right now for the queer community overall, just because it's like fun to say. Also another disclaimer that I don't know why these things are gay culture. So I just really, want to raise awareness of these extremely important and very serious issues that are important and serious. So let's get going. So number 1, not being able to sit in chairs in a normal way. I don't know why we're like this, but we can't seem to sit in chairs the way that it was meant to happen. This seems like a weird thing to claim as gay culture, but I swear to God, it's a specifically us thing. I personally am sitting literally like I'm a little weirdo right now. Like we're sitting on our feet, our legs are always going over the arms of the chairs, we're sitting backwards, sitting on top of the chair on an arm instead of a seat. Like chairs just can't contain us. Don't know why. Number 2, APT, always playing tieflings. So if you are not familiar, tieflings are a character type in a lot of fantasy tabletop games, including Dungeons and Dragons. They have infernal heritage, so they're descended from demons. They have horns, they have tails, they have fun eye colors, they have fun skin colors. They usually have some kind of hell fire power, and the gays love them. I don't know why, but we're always just playing tieflings. I don't have the answers. I'm just giving you the facts. Number 3, nurturing a sourdough starter tenderly. I know certain people also bake sourdough bread, but in almost any gay household, someone has a sourdough starter that they're carefully nurturing. And especially in these trying quarantine times, the rates of sourdough baking are going to skyrocket. I promise, just hop on anyone's Instagram. There's some fucking sourdough starters going on right now. It's really increasing. Sourdough, gay thing, don't know why. Moving on. Number 4, being obsessed with swords. So this one, I know why. It's because swords and swordplay are extremely homoerotic. Do not ask me about this. There's a tabletop game called Thirsty Sword Lesbians, so I'm not making this shit up. A lot of queer women have swords involved in their weddings. There's photographic proof on the internet. Making this shit up. So swords are very sexy and very powerful, and there are 2 in my gay household, so I have proof. Bonus, non-binary round. A thing that you may not know is non-binary culture. Frogs. I fucking love frogs, y'all. I don't have the answers. Why are frogs non-binary culture? I really just don't know. But in like every non-binary group that I'm in, there are always frog memes. We just love them. There's just always frogs and frog clothes. It's a thing. I went to Brooke's New Year's Eve meme party as Kermit the Frog. So frogs, yes. So here is where I would ask if anyone has questions, but one, we will not have time for that, and two, I just really don't know the answer, so please don't ask me anything about this. Do not at me.
Yay.
Excellent.
Does anybody want to see my sword that I have literally next to me right now?
Oh my God.
What's that?
Beautiful.
Got it at a Renaissance fair.
That's amazing.
Hell yeah!
Sword lesbians. Do not at me.
Anyways.
So I love that you included frogs as non-binary culture because my very non-binary brother would have joined and done frog and toad are gay as his.
Oh yeah. So I had consulted a couple other friends when I was looking for a couple final ones. I had the what did I have? I had the tieflings, I had the sitting in the chair weirdly, I had the swords, and I felt like I needed another one. My friend gets the credit for sourdough, but I do have a brainstorm list, and frog and toad were included on that. But I like needed it to be so obscure that it was going to be like, I just needed it to be very inaccessible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want anyone to know what I'm talking about. So yeah, yearning was on there, not being able to drive. Loving Carly Rae Jepsen. Soup? ? So anyway, those were contenders, but
oh my, that was good. Your time was at 3:10.
Nice.
So close.
Okay.
Pretty good.
It was very close.
Okay. I need to restart. Anybody else?
I'll go. I have 59 slides.
Wow.
I promise I can do it's not I won't eat up the whole hour because it's not going to take that long.
There is no winner for longest PowerPoint.
There is now.
Bang?
Yeah. Making her own category.
All right. Here we go, you guys. Let's see. I spent 25 minutes on this. You guys ready? Where is the freeze? What are you looking at? All right. Just so you know, I'm not good at math. So, Two Bros Chillin in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay are not following CDC guidelines, and the memes need to stop. A presentation on proper social distancing and fake news by someone who is not a meme lord or certified to tell you these things. Let's go. You know this video.
It's broken.
It's frozen.
Okay, Two Bros Chillin in a hot tub 5 feet apart. Is that good? You know it. All right. Are they really bros? Are they really chilling in the hot tub? Are they really 5 feet apart? And are they really not gay? I can't answer those, but I'm going to take 5 feet apart question. So let's break it down. We have two bros chilling in a hot tub who are maybe not 5 feet apart as people think they are. So I'm going to use the leg of this chair, which is approximately 16 inches, I think. I measured my own chair, so like that's where I'm at. We have that. We have his bicep, forearm, his forearm, which is maybe like 12 inches. I have 65 centimeter vision. Anyway, they're short, so I called it 12 inches. Anyway, you probably know this. You know Leonardo da Vinci. We're going to thank him for this graph. I want you to know that your arm span is equal to the length of your height. So I'm going to measure his arm span. So we have 12 inches on the arm, which is halfway is your hand. And then between that is your bicep. And then we have two hands, which is across the chest, and these tiny little armpits, which are half your hand. You know that? Well, you know now. I don't know what you'll do with that information, but you know. Anyway. 12 times 2, that's 24. Then we get the 6 pieces of your hands, which are 36. And we get 2 times 3, which is also 6. That's math I can solve. We add them together, we get 66 inches, which means our bro is 5 feet and 6 inches. I'm like pretty sure that's inaccurate, but that's okay. We'll keep going. So we have back to his forearm, and that's like 5 forearms. So that's like 5 feet. They're more than 5 feet apart, you guys. So are they really 5 feet apart? No, they're not. So I have to change mine. Oh no. Two Bros Chillin in the hot tub are not 5 feet apart because they're not gay, but not following CDC guidelines, and the memes need to stop. Yeah. So I copy and pasted straight from the CDC website. This is what we're concerned about. Are they in close contact within 6 feet? You know, we've been doing this whole social distancing thing. Good news. They're not. They are not 5 feet apart, but they're also not 6 feet apart. So I got them there. Anyway, we get these memes that are going around because they don't want the coronavirus. Truly ahead of their time. Oh, this one's 6 feet apart. Okay, we know that's not true. That's all. Once again, do not credit me for the math because I can't math. Also, I have really shitty vision. Thank you.
Somehow
59 slides, you guys.
Wow.
59
I had
slides.
no idea that was a meme.
Right?
And
Look at this shit. It's not even real news.
you're not only the longest presenter, but you're also in current winning position for under 3 minutes. We're at 2:55.
Dang. Oh.
Wrecked, y'all. Get me.
Yeah.
How do
Good
I
job.
unshare? Oh, there it is.
So I request like weekly meme-esque conspiracy videos. That was very fun. Who's next?
I can go.
Okay, we are likely going to get kicked off any minute now. So if it gets kicked off,
Oh, okay.
Why?
because isn't it? Don't you only have 45 minutes before it kicks you
No,
off?
because we all have the pro
Oh,
accounts
we all
now.
have pro ones? Never mind. That.
Yeah, it's not like our controversy group.
I didn't know we got
Great.
pro versions, but okay, cool. Never mind then. Have at it.
All right. So I made this very fast and furiously. So be ready. Oh, there's Nolan. I guess. Okay. So share screen. Microsoft PowerPoint. Share. All right.
Yay, Bowerbirds.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna press. Oh wait. Can you time me? Okay. 3 minutes. All right. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Play from start. All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Great bowerbirds, masters of seduction through optical illusions.
Ooh.
So, bowerbirds, who are they? You may or may not have seen bowerbirds in science textbooks or in memes, but they are a whole group of different species of birds that generally make these amazing structures. They are not nests because they aren't laying the eggs in there, but the males make these bowers out of sticks and found objects, often of a certain color, like this satin bowerbird who's got all of his blue objects, or this yellow golden bowerbird who has all these green objects. But the whole goal is to attract a mate and to impress her. Often they not only construct the thing, but they also dance on it. They're amazing. So the great bowerbird is a fancy boy, as you can see. Maybe a little drab on most of his feathers, but he's got this fancy pink crown on his head. And they make this absolutely incredible bower out of sticks. It's like a upside down arch. And what they do is they invite the lady to stand in the bower, and then they stand in front of it on what we call the court, which is made out of sticks and stones and other found objects. And then they dance on it and they pick up the objects and like try and hand them to her. Not hand, because, you know, whatever, beak. So
Halfway.
Then I found this great thing that says exactly what I want to say, only it was already written out. But the male great bowerbirds actually create an illusion on the court in front of their bower by making the smaller objects be closer to the bower and the larger objects be farther away. Here, you shall see here.
closer to the bower, they've got all these tiny little pebbles. Farther away, they've got big rocks and sticks and other stuff like that. So that when the lady bowerbird is in the bower, she sees a longer court than there actually is. And apparently this makes the bird look bigger than he actually is while he's doing his fancy little mating dance. So I think that's all I have to say, but you know, bowerbirds, wow. That's all. Thank you.
I think that you should do a commercial for like those animal magazines that they used to do and have it just for bowerbirds.
Yeah.
Zoo books. Love zoo books.
I
Wait,
love them.
where, I have a question. Where do they live primarily, if you saw that?
That's
I feel like I have never seen one do that.
Mostly Australia. Yes. Yeah, they're mostly in Australia. I think some in like Oceania. But yeah, I have only seen the gold one and the satin one with the blue. Never seen the great ones, but they're out.
Netflix has that bird documentary.
Time.
And you should watch it because bowerbirds are in it, and it's amazing.
Yes.
That sounds amazing.
Well, they put in way more effort than like any of my boyfriends.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, man. Go learn something.
I'm gonna make you pizza later.
The courtship continues.
Oh, so my timer said I locked my phone. 2:25. Lillian is still closest to 3 minutes without going over somehow. I still don't know. Minutes how she pulled that off. Cool.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
No.
I
didn't get when I set fire to stuff today, so on accident.
Are you going, Courtney?
No, I didn't get to make one because we were in my apartment.
Okay.
And then I also accidentally melted a pan. So that was fun.
Oh no.
Yeah. Good. Been a good day.
Okay. How many more do we have left? I've got one still. Okay, Brandon's got one. I think Glennis has one too, right?
I am done now, and I can go.
Okay. Brandon, you go ahead.
I was just looking at pictures and pasting them onto slides. But Brandon wants to go. I can go.
Full disclosure, I am not like a big Frozen fan, so if anyone wants to call me out, please do. I'm totally open to expanding my knowledge on the Frozen world. So just, interrupt and let me know. Okay, do I just hit share screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it should pull up whatever you're seeing, and then you can make it your PowerPoint. I had to go through my desktop, make sure there wasn't anything weird on it in case I was accidentally shared that. Fish.
Okay, can everyone see this?
Yes. Loading. Yep. There we go.
So thank you for gathering here for this hot mess. So we are going to be talking about Elsa and the intersections of queer identity, queer coding, and canons in villainhood. So let's get into this. So for anyone that has not seen these movies, Elsa is considered this like princess ice queen person who is from a very young age figures out she has these magical ice powers, and her parents pretty much are doing what we are all doing now, quarantining her in her room. She can't have any contact with anybody. So there is a lot of like people considering like, okay, why is Elsa like, she's very secretive, like mysterious. So originally the story was actually adapted. Oh shit, my little things didn't come up. Oh wait, yes they did. Okay, so historically there was a Danish fairy tale known as the Snow Queen, which is what Frozen is adapted from. And originally in different versions of this play, Elsa was going to be portrayed as a villain, but the story was rewritten and Elsa became not so much a villain, but more of like this, independent queen who, just lets it go, and she goes out and embraces who she is. You know, like she don't need no king, she don't need anybody. She's her own like magical princess, yes. But when we're looking at this story, Snow Queen, we see a lot of ties to how villains in a lot of stories are very queer coded. So if you can kind of think back to all the cartoons we saw as like, you know, in our childhood, like, you know, you have Ursula, Hades, you have James from Pokemon, all these people who are villains, you know, have these very like feminine, masculine, these very strong identities that usually don't have anything to do with like a love interest or anything like that. So when we are thinking about this, looking at queer coding, I took this is a quote from, I think, a Vox article. And I'll just like kind of skim through this. Basically, it was basically what I was just saying. These characters seem somehow less than straight, and so we associate these characters with queerness, even if their sexual orientation is never part of the story. So if we're looking at Frozen, Elsa, especially in Frozen 2, I don't know if anyone has seen it yet, but she does not have a romantic love interest at all. But in Frozen 2, we meet a character named Honey Marin, who Elsa meets at the fireplace, at the campfire, which is exactly how her sister, Anna, right? And the guy with the reindeer, they also meet in a very similar way. And so that is why there is like so much talk about why Elsa is gay. Also, Kate McKinnon, I don't know if anyone saw this skit, but it was beautiful. She's like, where is everybody? I'm gay. I would highly recommend this clip. But again, this was just a like kind of skimming over what is out there. There's so many Reddit pages and lots of conspiracy blogs that you can log into. It's really not that like challenging to see. But another thing that I was going to note is that it's also voiced by Idina Menzel, who's literally in like one of the most queer-coded way plays, Wicked. So, you know, there's a lot of connections there that I think that we...
And she's in Rent too, so...
Yes, and Rent. She is already a queer icon. Yeah. So that's all I really have for you guys. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and thank you.
That was great.
Oh, wait,
I love that even during this viral apocalypse, someone put references.
Yeah, good for you.
Nice.
Important.
My timer said 4:03.
Yes.
Worth it.
I win for longest. Thank you.
Okay. Jackie, did you have one?
I'm sorry, I didn't get around to it, and it was gonna have video, and I knew the video was gonna be a fucking problem, so
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Next time for our next PowerPoint.
So I think it's just me and Glennis then, right?
I can go.
Okay.
This is gonna be messy.
I don't care about going last.
Ready.
Oh my God. Okay, how do I do this?
I like to point out that we all now have video documentation of how inept we are at Zoom.
No, like this is like the first thing I already do it. Well, start share, is that the thing?
Yeah, share screen.
Start share. No, this one. Someone help. What do I do?
It's like the green thing.
Oh, share. Oh, okay, that's easier. Okay, and it gives me the same thing. And I think this is what. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh
Let's
my God.
go.
There's so many pictures.
I know. All I could do really was pictures. Okay, here we go. This presentation is called Deus Ex Tardis, which is about a phenomenon that I named in a Doctor Who episode that I didn't even make it into the presentation, but I'm happy to talk about it later. I'm going to start my own timer. That's going to be not accurate now, but that's okay. I wanted to make this friendly for everybody. So if you haven't seen Doctor Who, basically it is and I'm only doing the new episodes because if I do all of them, that would be like, I would go out of my mind. So one of these 5 people have played the Doctor over the last 15 years. And they're an alien that travels through space and time in this box with
Oh my god.
And
the next trope I'm going to talk about is when there's an episode where some mysterious evil comes about, but turns out to be actually one of the old villains that the Doctor encounters throughout history. So, for example, people were getting these ear pods in, but it turns out that they were being turned into Cybermen, which is this weird thing that's going around her head. Or they made Dalek and human hybrids, and the Daleks are those weird metal creatures you may have seen in relation to Doctor Who. And this is the first human Dalek hybrid, which is horrifying. And then more recently, and I hope this isn't a spoiler, they bring back the Cybermen in the latest season, where they're there's some bizarre alien force that occupies Percy Shelley, and it turns out to be a Cyberman. And then we go to the episodes where there are huge time jumps. So in this episode, David Tennant as the 10th Doctor becomes human, and he doesn't know he's the Doctor, and then he lives out his entire life, and we get to see this terrible old age makeup where he dies as a human. And you think that would be the worst, but then in another episode, they turn him into this creepy, shrunken Voldemort.
Oh, I had forgotten about that.
And I shit you not, the resolution to this situation is that the people of Earth come together and just what did you say? They just think good thoughts about the Doctor, and then he becomes, the human that's on the left once again, or the person on the left, because they're not human. We also get to see Matt Smith as a 12th Doctor vaguely slowly turn into this more horrible old age makeup over another time jump that's supposed to be a couple hundred of years. And then the last time jump was really, that I'm going to show, is only 30 something years, but it's still really not great old age makeup. And I know I'm getting closer to 5 minutes, but I have many other. So the title Deus Ex TARDIS refers to many points throughout the whole series where someone sacrifices their life to stop an explosion, or they'll something, and then miraculously the TARDIS will materialize around that person at the moment of the explosion and save them. Okay, that's all. I know it was 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I got to show you guys the most horrifying pictures. You're so welcome.
Amazing.
Yeah, this one and then that one.
Yeah.
Aren't even the grossest things you see in this universe.
My favorite companion is Donna. Nothing that will ever Polka!
I was looking at Poca's Instagram the other day because I felt like shit. So I needed something.
You should have just asked for like Poca FaceTime or Poca pictures or whatever.
Hashtag Poca FaceTime.
Poca will FaceTime any of you if you want him to.
Victoria, do you have Martine?
Yes, I do. Martine, come. You want a snack? I don't have snacks for her. I mean,
Lie to her.
Martine, come. Good girl.
Bird had like a pet smell happy hour. But none of you were there, but should have been.
Martine.
I was gonna crash that happy hour, but then I was like, I don't have it, and then I forgot what day it was.
Oh no, there are definitely people who are just there to see the pets. If anyone else
I should have
has
gone.
pets, bring them out right now.
Wait, hold on. I can get Gigi again.
Oh my god!
All right.
Well,
My dog. I tried to get my dog, but he's running away from me. Come here, Fozzie. Come here.
Gigi says hello and goodbye.
I am forcing him. Here's Fozzie.
Oh my god!
Mabel.
Stay in this position.
Mabel. Oh
So
my god.
So many
Two cats.
oh,
There's just so much happening. I don't know which screen to look at.
weird.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, my cat's being a butt.
I know.
Okay.
Is that a dog? Wait, where's? Like, is there a new dog? Wait, Em, are you at home? Or
I'm in Olympia
oh, okay.
at my mom's house.
Far away.
It's just an image.
That's all I have.
Oh wait, I have a good one that my mom sent me this morning.
Oh.
It's both of the orange ones, not the president.
Yeah, that doesn't look like anything. It looks like a
know.
lump.
Not the president.
I'm having to get pictures.
I
Hold
don't
on.
have an animal with me.
Oh.
Just have this. It's the only stuffed animal I brought with me from home.
Momo.
Okay, you're free.
What is the why? Is that an octopus?
That doesn't have normal pets.
There's so many animals happening right now.
Well, I'm glad that the animals and not people.
Yeah.
Ears.
All right, is it just Bree?
It's just me. Let me get mine up.
Get it. We'll time you.
Yeah, someone else needs to time in because I will feel bad if.
I got her.
Oh my god. This sounds very personal.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
I'm excited.
Okay, but where is I've blocked the full screen with your videos. There we go. Okay, so
I got you whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's go. I'm gonna teach you guys how to survive a serial killer, a guide of how to actually survive food mascot threats. Don't be fooled by their cute appearance. They are actually deadly evil monsters who need to be feared. There are many types of food mascots, and this chart I found kind of divvies them up based on beverages, candy, children meals, ready-to-eat, and snack foods. Don't follow this. It doesn't tell you anything. You need to look at what kind of category they actually fall in. And I have divided them into a number of categories. First of all, animals. There's a lot of bears.
Yes.
There's a lot of cracked out rabbits. There's some big ass cats. There's some birds. There's dinosaurs, and there's bees. There's a lot of like scary animals as food mascots. I don't know why, but honestly, I don't want to mess with any of them. But they're animals, so think about it. Do they have a natural predator? Or can you hurt their environment? Can you take a shotgun to him? Can you hunt him? I don't know. But the biggest threatening one is Tony the Tiger. I rate him a 4.5 out of 5 stars. He is a bipedal giant tiger. For some reason, he has opposable thumbs. He's more swole than he probably should be, and he has a bandana probably stained with the blood of his victims. If you fight with him, it will be gruesome. Okay? Also, do not Google Tony the Tiger. I made that mistake once, and I will never get over it. The internet, weird place. Just don't do it. Next category is food. For some reason, personally, I really hate food as mascots for themselves. It's kind of creepy that they're trying to sell out their friends to be eaten. Fortunately, food, you are their biggest threat. They're food, right? So just eat them. Not only are they lazily designed, but your mouth is your best weapon. So, for example, the goldfish. I rated him a half a star because one, he has no fin. Not only is his name a lie, but he can't move. He's not able to just flop around. He's not wearing sunglasses properly, which means you just blind him and then eat him if you really wanted to. I would argue that a Magikarp is probably more dangerous. And if you have to play Pokemon, Magikarp are like the least dangerous Pokemon of them all. Humans! This is a weird category where there's other people as actual mascots for some reason. I think it's really strange. And well, it seems like it's a pretty even fight because they are in theory. And like the man who's definitely in town. Beware, there is an overarching conspiracy that they are actually in one large mafia. So if you mess with one, you mess with them all.
Like Wendy? Oh my
go
gosh.
away. So be warned. Magical humanoids. These are like humans, but magical. So be careful. Mostly elves and leprechaun. Don't know why elves outnumber leprechauns 4-1, but they do. Keebler elves. They're easy to take on because they're small, but they're likely swarm. There's many of them in one spot. They are also likely dex builds. They're elves, right? So you got to assume that they are going to be built kind of a little OP. So be prepared for that. Appeal to their vanity. Apparently, elves are very vain beings. They will make themselves into cookies and eat those cookies. So use that to your advantage. If worse comes to worse, they do live free. So just Molotov cocktail that bitch and get out of there. Wild cards. These are in the category. These are by far the most dangerous. Mostly being apparently the thing is called crazy craving. If you're dead, don't fight. Just pray it does not find you. So in conclusion, channel your inner stock photo. Basically, do whatever we're doing and hope for the best. Here is a nice little scale Rose sent me. You can kind of see where it fits on this category here. But in conclusion, just avoid them at all costs. Doesn't matter what they are. And that is the end of my PowerPoint.
I have a question.
3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, I got 332 for you.
Yeah,
Nice.
332.
I'm still not sure how Lillian with the most slides managed to make it. That was so impressive. Good job, man. I'm like, surely I can do 15 slides in 3 minutes, but okay. Cool. Awesome.
I like how the group was like
no breathing.
I kind of want to cover
I could kick their ass.
You're kicking the Gerber baby's ass.
Okay, wait. I think I can get the video up. Can I try to share it again?
Yes, do it, please.
Yes, you absolutely can.
If not, you can always give us a link.
Oh, my first movie.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yes, again.
Yay.
Hey,
Do your whole
more time.
as like a stop motion.
Make it into a GIF. Post it. Make it into a GIF.
Okay.
The Facebook.
Can I ask my follow-up question for Bree?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, would you rather fight 1,000 Keebler elves or 1 Tony the Tiger?
Oh my gosh. See, okay, this is how you know I've spent too much time on the internet. Because I would say tiger because there's always a possibility that we'll fall in love instead. Internet is always a possibility.
What if all 1,000 Keebler elves all fell in love with you?
Oh, you know, I would
have cookies.
Becoming an army of cookie baking elves.
Yeah, think of the cookies.
I have enough cookies in my life right now. Like I need 1,000 mouths to feed. I had to feed 2. Yeah. Awesome.
They could feed themselves with cookies.
Possibly.
I'm going to send you all in the chat one of my favorite memes in the world, or like meme videos about bowerbirds. So enjoy. So ready your own time because it's a little bit longer. But thank you, Brie. This is such a great idea. Oh my gosh.
Great.
Awesome. So if we like it, I'm happy to try and schedule another one. I'm sure we can all come up with new ideas and people who didn't do one this time, you are required to next time. No. What might be a little bit easier if you want to do something similar like this again is instead of doing a presentation, we could just do debates of ridiculous topics. I'll come up with some really weird topic debates.
Yeah, like 1,000 Keebler elves versus...
Exactly. 1,000 Keebler elves Return of the Tiger.
Pull up my whiteboard
and start have a PowerPoint to do it, so we'll see. Oh, I'll use all this internet time to find some more fun things to do on Zoom. But yes, so I'm gonna watch this Bowerbird video. Oh, I have multiple videos.
What did you say?
I love the Let Me Smash series.
Yes, thank you.
Can we maybe try like at the end of next week or something like that, or?
Yeah, I'll probably. What's the end of next week is an end of break, so right before school technically starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet if there was like if you started a Facebook post and asked for topics, debate topics, people would come up with pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This was way more fun. I would have liked to do it in person, but this turned out to be very applicable for the times. So, thanks, guys.
Fun side note: I have Jackbox now.
I have the first one.
What is it?
It's a bunch of
I don't know what that is.
games.
Oh, I see. Fun party games.
They're very
I'm
fun.
not. Okay.
I can show you later. I'm in the know.
Okay. As long as someone knows. Okay. Well, again, thank you guys. It was way more fun and topics were way funnier than I.
Wait, did I win or?
You definitely won.
So you have to
Close
say
to 3 minutes.
Yeah, what are the categories?
The categories were best PowerPoint and best topic. So I don't know how you guys want to do that. I can either send out a Google survey thing where you can vote, or if we feel like just voting now, we can do that as well.
Best topic and closest to.
Best topic. I think the best topic was the things that are gay but you don't know about.
Gay culture.
Great.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
really liked that one because it was so random, and every time I had no idea where it was going. But I feel like I learned something I don't know if I wanted to know or needed to know, but I know it. So
No one needed to know, but
any other contenders, or do we feel like that is an appropriate winner? They were all really good, but that one was just so funny.
We just we should poll it.
You want me to poll it? Oh wait,
We
there's
should
a poll.
Right?
There's a poll function?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at things I didn't
Oh
know.
shoot. Okay, I'm gonna write people's names.
I don't think you need names.
Well, I don't remember how to write everybody's. I don't remember everybody's topic word for word.
We'll just put the question as
Chitons.
best whatever.
Chitons.
You don't want for you.
Best topic. Chitons.
Are you okay, Em?
Yes, one of the YouTube videos. They're both playing.
Kitty gone.
We had, what were the topics? We had chitons. We had things that are
Bugs.
Culturally bugs.
Hemipterans.
Cereal.
We had Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
Yes, ours.
Don't
Bowerbirds.
for me for spelling.
You have to spell that accurately. No.
Yeah.
We're frozen.
We're frozen.
Frozen.
You're frozen.
Oh, I thought you meant the
And Doctor Who.
And I was like,
Hot tubs.
Hot tubs.
That's the biggest.
Full disclosure, I'd like the whole title involved.
I think it was it, right? Am I missing anybody's?
I'd like an honorary category for like most effort put into it, so that we can recognize Marie's video.
Marie went outside.
It's
Yeah.
true. Risked her life.
It was really nice.
Ooh, wait.
I knew you did that wrong.
Oh, my bad. My bad. So, this is hard. I'm learning on the
Best
fly.
topic goes here. What
I don't
is
know why I
best
can't spell
topic?
chitons. What is best topic? Save.
No.
Why these YouTube videos will not stop playing, and I don't know how to make them.
So sorry, Em. Oh no.
Okay, if you hit poll, there is now. Okay, launch the poll. Okay.
Ooh.
What
is this?
Wow. We only get to vote for one.
Yes.
I wish we
Otherwise,
could
all
rank
of us would
them
be
or
winners.
something.
That's not how we work.
Okay. It's a YouTube video now.
I don't think you get to vote